learning about vibration and that everything moves. Antonio, please explain to me how this table, this desk, is actually moving. I can't see it, I can't feel it, but it's vibrating, you say.
It is. It's not what I say. Science says. Okay. All right. In science, you have three different sciences that you would be accustomed of. You would have classical physics, then you would have modern physics, which not necessarily too many things different from classical to modern. Classical, you would think of Aristotle, even though that's a bit philosophy. What's my man name? Newton. Newton discovered gravity when the apple hit him on his head. Okay, classical physics. Modern physics is what you learned in 9th grade in high school and American public school. Then you have quantum physics, the most accurate science that we've ever had in the history of mankind. Okay? Quantum physics is classical physics is the study of big things. Gravity, since you want to say that, big buildings, trees, birds, everything falls to the center of the earth at 9.86 meters a second, etc. That's actually accurate, right? Terminal velocity is when you can no longer fall faster. You just fall you reach the terminal speed or the terminal velocity of falling. All this is classical physics. Quantum physics is when you go into what they call the atomic world, a adjective for atom. When you go into the molecular world, everything gets weird. It does not behave the way classical physics behave. It just does not. In classical physics, you're not allowed to be at two places at one time. In quantum physics, that is a reality that is standard. It's called superposition. Superposition, you can have you have a molecule at 30,000 different places at one time. That'll be a very, very, very small molecule, but nevertheless. And you can't touch one because there is no such thing as you can't grab one of the 30,000 because it's all one. Everything exists in a wave format, and then the conscious observer makes it into a particle. All that to say, energy. Okay, all that to say that energy exists and energy is. We now know, due to quantum physics, that an atom we once thought was solid. And by what I mean once thought, I was born in 1981. When I was in the 6th grade, they were teaching me solid and 9 planets. Now we got 8 planets and 2 dwarf planets. And Pluto may not even be a dwarf planet anymore. Maybe Pluto's the moon, or maybe it's a little bit of debate. When I was in 6th grade and 9th grade science, there were 9 planets total. Now we find 15,000 planets a day. And if you was to look at this wall here, if this entire wall was space, the only thing we can actually see of space is that nail right there. We're finding planets with the Hubble telescope with that nail, just in that window. You get it? All matter is energy. Einstein, without ever doing a science experiment, said that. Einstein said energy equals mass times the speed of light. It was MC squared. It was Einstein who discovered that this tile is, besides the fact it's a bit dirty, is simply energy collected over time in one spot, thus becoming matter. And I'm not even touching this tile. the energy or the electronic charge from my hand and this towel is touching one another. I'm not touching it. Matter is 90% empty. Period. And emptiness is actually energy. And all energy vibrates. It's called the law of vibration. Period. It has a frequency. And people who specialize in frequency modulation or FM radio can manipulate frequencies. Wi-Fi is at 802.11 frequency. That's Wi-Fi. To encrypt it is something completely different. Nevertheless, what you have is everything is energy, period, point blank. I'll prove it to you with this one last illustration. You take a 300-foot tree. It's probably a redwood in California or one of the trees in the Amazon forest. And you chop it down. Is the tree still 300 feet? Yes, just laterally now, right? You take that 300 feet tree and you keep it up and you burn it. Now what you've done is you've taken the electrons, the energy, you've sped them up so fast that they bounced off. And every time one of the electrons jumped, it created a different matter, no longer a tree. And you're left with the ashes, and all the energy escapes into the atmosphere. If I burn a tree, it's a tree 300 feet of ashes.
No.
Thus proving that that tree was 90% empty. There you go. She's constipated. There it is. I'm a nerd. What can I say?
I can't believe it. And I'm so glad I did not come in here and ask the question until I finished reading your article.
So that's why you said you know the answer.
I know the answer. I could not have explained it as well as you did. I was just, everything is moving. I know it. Everything's vibrating.
It is.
It's a law. It doesn't matter how I know, as long as I know.
Yeah, well, here's the crazy part. Like, this desk here is vibrating. If I match the actual vibration of this desk, something weird would happen. If I vibrate so fast, and I mean amazingly fast, I can actually go through this table.
Let's see it.
No, I can't. we haven't invented the way to actually get that done just yet. But it explains. I teach a class to people when I'm dealing with the weird, wacky world of quantum physics and just understanding things. Time travel and wall tunneling. It's possible. Theoretically, it's possible. It's possible for me to go through this wall. I would just have to vibrate or move so fast that it's like kind of like it's all. So it's kind of like osmosis and mitosis. You know how you have water or something seep through your food when you leave it in the cooler, but the plastic bag was solid. It wasn't solid.
Yeah, figure that out.
Because if you look on the right microscope, it had holes in it, and the water vibrated at the frequency or got in those holes. That's what I can do to this wall if I was moving fast enough. That's not.
I was wondering about the freezer bags.
That's not the way I would say it to the science world, but to a regular crowd, that makes sense. You get it? That's what I would do. Yeah, it's all true. The world is not what you think, and if you think you know it, you suck. Because the more you know, the less you know.
The more you know, the less you know?
The more you know, the less you don't know anything.
Oh, okay.